thought I had such a good week there. I got a couple of results right. You just keep going, don't you?
Well, I'm still 6 ahead. You got 1 back, so now the gap is 6 or 7. And I really hope I can get to the end. Let's talk through the Premier League table. This is why it's so interesting.
Oh my goodness. Let's start at the top, Theo. And Manchester City, of course, play Arsenal. We're going to talk about that at length. So assume that Man City win. And also look at this here, the goal difference. It's down to 3. So if Man City were to win by 1 goal, Theo, the goal difference becomes 1. So Man City have got a game in hand. That is over Crystal Palace. So suddenly people are saying that Man City will win the Premier League. We'll talk about that more later, but I think there's a lot of twists and turns to come.
Yeah, and also interesting games down the bottom. Forest have got a pretty tough fixture. Well, they've got an easy fixture at home. West Ham have a tough one. Tottenham have a very hard one because Brighton have hit form. All these games are going to be predicted. Burnley and Wolves, they're out of the show. But European spots, really interesting. You've got the Merseyside derby, and Everton are only, 5 points from Liverpool? And not just that, Everton at home beat Chelsea recently 3-0. Liverpool on a very poor period. So are you excited for that?
I am so excited. Remember last year, Theo, there was nothing to play for. And now there's things going on there, and there.
Yeah.
Because from Leeds upwards, from Newcastle upwards, you can get to Europe.
Yeah.
You can be in 14th place with 6 games to go and have chances of getting into Europe. Interestingly, Wolves, Theo, if they lose at the weekend, and if West Ham get a point, they are down. They're down in Gameweek.
Anyway,
yeah, but mathematically.
Yeah, lots to talk about. Right, Brentford versus Fulham, Dad. Introduce it.
Thank you for passing over to me on that one. And the first game is Brentford against Fulham, 7th against 12th. It's a London derby between 2 very nice London teams who both have European ambitions, Theo. Brentford, that's it. That is the key. Straight to it. Draw, 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 draw. They are unbeaten. They've lost 1 in the last 9 games, Theo.
Yeah.
But there's a couple of things they're doing wrong. Number 1, they're throwing away leads. We saw that last week, didn't we? They're going ahead and then not winning. And secondly, at home, they're just not winning. No. 5 games at home without winning.
It's not good. And we've seen Brentford be very good at the GTEC and create that momentum. And suddenly it seems to be switching with Keith Andrews. I don't really know why, because Igor Thiago's still bagging goals. And then for Fulham, they've had a bit of rocky form as well. It's probably not the level that they sort of expect. I remember when they lost their players to AFCON, and I thought they'd go on a bad run. They started winning all their games. Now it seems a bit more patchy. You've got 3 losses in the last 5. That's unusual for Marco Silva.
That is unusual. But if they can turn it round against Brentford, their near neighbours, suddenly they can go on a European march. And if you look at this, Theo, the first thing to say is these are 2 really good teams.
They are, yeah.
I would enjoy watching this game. There's lots of players there that I like watching. Now, I've got to talk about this man, Theo, Igor Thiago.
Yeah.
21 goals this season. There's only 1 man ahead of him in the Golden Boot race. We know who that is. He's been linked with Bayern Munich and Man City. I want to ask you, Theo, you were in Germany yesterday. What would his role be at Bayern Munich?
The problem is, when I look at the Bayern team, I think you've got Harry Kane. I know Vincent Kompany wanted to buy Voltemada for a long time before Newcastle came in with a big bid, but maybe Newcastle will sell him. I don't know. You have FFP and other things, so maybe Bayern's first choice will be Voltemada. But if it does change to Thiago, I think Kompany wants to play a 2-forward formation to help. And there was moments in that Real Madrid game where Kane felt isolated. He's amazing. There's no doubt he scored his goal. But imagine if he had another striker next to him, ready to finish his dinner. The great thing about Bayern is they've won the Bundesliga. They're probably going to win the Champions League. They still think, okay, how can we utilise more? And there were times where Kane, on his own, felt a bit out of it. You know, I know we're playing against Real Madrid, but they leak goals as well. Igor Thiago could make it so they could play a strong 4-4-2. I like that, but Brentford right now need to try and get as many points and get off this drawing period that they're in. And Keith Andrews, we've added the managers this week. How do you think he's doing? What is the solution?
Well, look, you're 7th in the league, Theo. Brentford are a wonderful story, not just in terms of footballing, but in terms of achieving so much with a relatively small budget. So Matthew Benham, the owner that we know, is brilliant at buying players like this for 20, 30 million. And after a couple of seasons, they're worth 60, 70, 80 million. He's brought in a manager. Now, we doubted it. You in particular doubted Keith Andrews.
Yeah, fair.
He's got, the Bolton link. But 7th in the league, Theo. I know they're drawing a lot. You can't fault that.
I bet you Benham wants more. I know what the Brentford owner is like, and he wants high achieving.
Yes.
And let's see if they can change it around, because beating Fulham at home, bit of a West London rivalry game, this is the sort of time you need to achieve high amounts because there's a lot on the line. Now, Fulham, let's go through their defence. They've got Castagna here on the right. They've got Joachim Anderson, Calvin Bassey, Anthony Robinson. Now, the reason I and Bernd Leno. The reason I've focused on this back line is because they have got 1 clean sheet in 17 games.
Yes.
And they've lost 10 of the 15 games against top half opposition. So
Yes.
I'm looking at this defence and thinking, what's wrong? Because I think that's pretty standard Premier League quality.
Do you know what? I saw that game against Liverpool, and you've got to say, in that first half at Anfield, Liverpool was superb.
Yeah.
Rio was just spectacular. What a prospect he is. Mo Salah, what a beautiful goal. It was over by half-time. But in the second half, Fulham put up a show. They didn't score, but they were quite good. This is the thing about Fulham. Lost 3, only won 1 of the last 5, but playing some good football.
Absolutely,
But mostly, I mean, I'm a big fan of Anthony Robinson from the Bolton days, of course. I think it's a good back line. It surprises me that there aren't more clean sheets, but this is where the excitement is up front there. This is a side who can score 2 or 3 goals on the day.
No Jordan Henderson for Brentford is obviously losing a lot of leadership. They were very happy when they signed him. And I still think that, there could be goalers in this. We've not seen much from Munoz this season as much as previous years. Josh King could have a really good game. I feel like in these sort of London rivalry matches, he turns up. Harry Wilson as well. Yeah, and even Oscar Bob, you forget how good that could be of a signing. Alex Iwobi in that 8 role. I slightly favour Fulham, but because it's at Brentford, I think this could be a draw. But right now, Brentford's home form isn't that good.
Yeah, and you've also got Raul Jimenez coming off the bench, who is pretty good this season. He's banged in a few goals.
Would you start him over Munoz, potentially? Experienced game like this?
I probably would, actually,
Yeah, because
Theo.
Jordan Henderson's not playing, so you can beat them on experience, bring in the Mexican.
Yeah, very good shout.
I like that. That's what we're doing. My score prediction, I'm going to get straight to it, guys. I think I'm going to have to go with, I don't know if it's written out here. It's not working. Let's see if it works on here. Let's go with the next scoreline. 1-1. Yes, I've gone with a draw because Brentford right now are drawing every single game. And truthfully, I can see this being equal. I did write off, I nearly put 2-1 as well. I did think about this, but I eventually put the 2 back because Fulham, they're solid. They're going to come in with a result. What do you think?
Do you know what? That makes sense because of that.
Yeah.
5 draws in a row, make it 6. That doesn't happen very often in the Premier League. I don't see it being low scoring here. I think there's going to be goals. So if you're going to go with a draw, I would have gone 2-2. But if you go onto my screen, a dodgy... I mean, that is the worst. My teeth, honestly.
Comment down below what you think of that.
I look like Zach Polanski now. I mean, that is quite shocking.
Who's that?
A little bit of... Who's Zach Polanski?
No, I don't
Leader
know.
of the Green Party there. It's good job we don't do politics.
I don't do politics and all
Anyway,
that.
right.
Green, blue, red. What next? Purple? I'm starting the purple party.
Yeah, well, I've got a nice sort of lilac top on tonight.
And it says party. There you go.
Yeah. That was good, though. We didn't practice that. Right. Brentford are going to win this one 2-1. But like I said, my worry is that they go ahead and then there's a late equaliser. We saw Everton do that last week. But I'm going to go with Brentford. Home advantage.
I like that. Let's move on to the next game, which is going to be, let's find out, Leeds against Wolves.
Wow, the next game is Leeds United against Wolverhampton Wanderers, 15th against 20th. I was going to call this a relegation scrap, but it really isn't because Leeds won. Leeds won at Old Trafford, so they are going to stay up. And Wolverhampton Wanderers, as we know, can be mathematically relegated this week. Talk to me about Leeds. Talk to me about Old Trafford, Theo.
Incredible. Yeah, to turn up there, there's a stat, 45 years it's been since they've won at Old Trafford, and they've gone and done it in front of their fans when they've mattered the most. You know, they needed that win in the relegation battle. They've got it. They sit nicely above Forest and West Ham and Tottenham right now, and they're not secure. But look who they're playing. But they're playing a team that will be relegated if they win.
Yes, but the thing about that game at Old Trafford, we watched it in the tennis club with my brother Stuart, your uncle, who is a massive Leeds fan since the 1970s. So it was great to watch it with a Leeds fan. And I've got to say, I thought Leeds, as they have been for many months, I thought they were superb. To go to Old Trafford and beat a good Man United team. Now, there's been a lot of complaining. There's been a lot of whinging about Lisandro Martinez and the red card. So I want your opinion, Theo.
Look at this.
Give me that opinion on that, Theo.
Yeah.
A red card for hair pulling. What do you think?
I thought it was a shocking decision, and we should speak about it when the United game is on. But for Leeds, they should make the most of that. DCL said in his press conference, he said, I'm not here to talk about United decisions. I got my shot and I scored. Well, he didn't score. He got the block off the line. That was incredible. And he was very pivotal in that match. He worked really hard defensively. Here's a message to Vinny and Mbappe. I love forwards that get back and help out.
Yeah.
You'd never see Vinny clear it off the line or Mbappe like that. You wouldn't see it. But Leeds need a team that have that in the Premier League, and they do. Okafor, I mean, look, do I think he's a classy player? Not so sure. Do I think he takes his chances well when he gets them? Absolutely. He's that sort of guy that Leeds need. if they're going to get half a chance and they'll get a lot more of the ball against Wolves at home, he could keep scoring. I like that. Brendan Aronson, really hard-working American. He's probably the face of America to me. Everyone likes to say Pulisic this, Pulisic that. Brendan Aronson smashing in the Premier League. He's the next big thing.
Well, some people will say Donald Trump there, but
Probably, yeah.
You're talking about
I'm talking
soccer,
about the
aren't
World Cup that's coming to America, Dad.
You've talked about those 3 forwards there.
Yeah.
Leeds have not scored in 3 home games. So we saw them...
But I talked about their defensive contributions, all
True.
3 of them.
Very good point.
All 3 of them work so hard in a 5-back.
Wait,
Leeds...
I thought he'd gone backpacking. Sean Lonsdale.
Oh, yeah, long stuff, yeah.
Yeah, well, anyway, carry on.
Anyway, yeah. Bogle, Goodmanson. I thought Goodmanson was so good against United.
Yeah.
Really like him. And for Wolves, yeah, I mean, I don't think you're going to survive when you're playing Adam Armstrong as your striker and you're not even playing this lad. I'd straight away get this lad up. But, they're trying to play more on-the-ground football. They see him more as a target man. Hwang Hee-chan has been given bench treatment. Mosquera's got a red card. Krejci from Slavia Prague as well. Bueno, who follows me on Instagram, so big up Bueno, scored a really nice goal. I think when they beat, who was it? When they beat Liverpool, he scored a really nice goal.
Yeah. What about Mane on the bench?
Mane, he's a very good super sub. At this point in the season, you probably just want to give him game time so they can, if they were to sell him when they get relegated, they sell him for a good price, or he becomes a really good player in the Championship and they sell him for more after.
I mean, the thing about Wolves, Theo, until that last game, and they got hammered by West Ham 4-0, before that, they'd got 8 points in 5 games.
Yeah.
And they were playing some very nice football. 16 games, 5 draws, 11 defeats. So for them to win here, they've not done that all season. But is this a banana skin for Leeds?
Here's what I think, Dad. This is what I think. You ready to see my prediction?
Go on then.
Give me a drum roll. Give me a drum roll, Dad. Go on.
Well, I mean, I can do the sort of cross sticks.
2-0.
Yeah.
2-0 to Leeds. I just believe they're better than them. We just looked at the squads. A 5-back system, it needs to get a bit more expansive. Works well when United are putting all the pressure on them and they can counter. This is a different sort of ball game. Wolves might need to switch to 4-back or keep to their system but let their wing-backs have a bit more fun up the pitch because they need to be the dominant side and beat Wolves here. 2-0. What do you think? Well,
in the back of my mind is that stat, Theo, that Leeds haven't scored in 3 home games. I don't think they'll win by 2 goals, Theo. I think that this is going to be a Leeds victory, but by a narrow margin, 2-1. It might actually be 1-0 to Leeds. I'm going to go Leeds 2, Wolves 1.
I like that. That's a really good prediction, Dad. Here's the next game.
And the next game is Newcastle against AFC Bournemouth. It's 14th against 11th. So a mid-table clash over at St James's Park. And you look at Newcastle first, Theo.
Mid-table clash.
Well, it is though, hasn't it? I mean, Newcastle have gone and lost recently to Sunderland, lest we forget, and to Crystal Palace. And their season has really petered away. Let's not forget how much money the Saudis invested in this squad.
The
expectation was high, wasn't it?
Yeah, they must be asking questions right now to the staff and Eddie Howe predominantly. Like, they expect more. They made a massive, almost €100 million transfer of a striker who they're trying to play attacking mid and not even getting much game time anymore. I mean, the way Waltermada started the season, what has happened? Yeah. It's unbelievable. And no Bruno Guimaraes is a big loss for them as well. Let's go through the lineups and see what they're really going to play. So look, no Waltermada in the team, which is he's not injured. He's just on the bench, which is so sad.
It's just not scoring goals.
But that's really sad, isn't it? Why, when you have a player that good, figure it out. Play him next to Asula. Figure something out.
We met him, didn't we? We met him in Germany last year. Nice guy.
Stuttgart.
Started really well, didn't he? And he's just stopped scoring goals. And as a striker, that's your job.
That is your job.
So you're on the bench if you don't score goals. That's a good team, Theo. I'm a big fan. I remember going to Stamford Bridge and seeing this man get an early goal. I saw Newcastle beat Chelsea. That's a good team. I'm a big fan of Tonali, of Botman. Yeah. There isn't a weak link in there, but for some reason, they're just not.
I want to see more of this guy, Lewis Miley. He's a Geordie lad in their squad. He becomes very good on Football Manager, if that means anything. It's not like I watch him every week.
I mean, Wissa's not really performing, is he?
Yeah, Wissa needs to get back in the team. Waltermada, it's mad that Eddie Howe is doing this.
Harvey Barnes,
Elanga, all their big wages are sat on the bench. I mean, obviously Joelinton's suspended. But Anthony Gordon, Bayern Munich are interested. I mean, the whole world are. Real Madrid should be. I mean, Anthony Gordon's the sort of player that in the next few years could go right to the very top.
Well, I'm going to talk to you. You've just mentioned Real Madrid and interested in players. This man here, Junior Krupi, 19 years old, has already scored 10 goals this season. I think he's only started about 13 games. He is linked, Theo, with the likes of Chelsea, Liverpool, Real Madrid.
No way.
Yes.
Real Madrid.
This guy is being looked at by some of the biggest teams in Europe.
Shows you what Bournemouth can do. Dean Huijsen, they've obviously got that Bournemouth-Real Madrid connection already from the transfer there. So they're obviously inquiring about Krupi next. But I mean, Huijsen's not getting as much game time, so it's a bit of a shame. Real Madrid set up well yesterday. It's such a shame the way it fell out for them. Those Madrid fans were gutted on the flight back. Some of them live in London.
I'm going to talk to you about Bournemouth here.
Okay, yeah.
Because we all know they've got the longest unbeaten run in the whole of the Premier League. Won 7 and drawn 5 and lost none of the last 12 games. So really, the expectation is they can get something.
So Alex Scott, I think, has been incredible the last few weeks. England call-up is overdue. Tuchel, I hope you're watching this game because he is such a great player. Now, I watched Bellingham play in a more 8 role yesterday, and that was great too, but he can do that job. And the reason Bournemouth are smashing it, without Semenyo, without Dean Huijsen, Zabani to PSG, they lost all their players. They made like 250, 300 million off that.
Yeah.
They're a profitable club. They're probably the only Premier League club that's profitable because they have Areola.
Yes.
Who's doing so well to breed these players, and he's doing it next to Krupi. He's doing it next to who's next? I mean, it's mainly Krupi right now because the rest of the squad is older. They've sold all their talent, but Adley's also coming really good at the moment. What I'd say is Areola has now announced that he's leaving, and Manchester United are knocking on the door.
Yes.
Maybe Tottenham would knock on the door.
Oh my goodness, he is a good man. And you
Yeah.
make a very good point about
where's he
Bournemouth
going?
here.
Yeah.
Because if you're, let's say, a Bolton fan or something,
Bolton fan,
you
yeah.
look at Bournemouth and you think, this is actually a club with less fans than Bolton, for sure.
Yeah.
And yet they're not just in the Premier League. They've got the longest unbeaten run. They went to the Emirates last week and won.
Yeah.
They're just a well-run, good club. So massive respect to Bournemouth.
And they'll show up to Newcastle as probably favourites. But if you're going, I know the atmosphere in the team.
Do you know, interestingly, they're not favourites. But you look at the recent form and perhaps they should be.
Yeah, well, Areola's now leaving, so let's see how that changes their form because he's like 11 games unbeaten with this club. Eddie Howe is under the cosh, under the pressure, and it seems like European dreams are over. Having said all that, I just think that at home, there's only one team who's going to win, and I'm going 2-1 Newcastle. It's funny how football changes round. It doesn't always go the way you expect it, and I know what that stadium's like, St. James's Park.
It's what it used to be like, Theo.
Yeah.
And that's my point. You look at my predictions 2 or 3 years ago, I would always say Newcastle to win at home, unless they were playing, let's say, Liverpool or Arsenal. These days, look at their form. St. James's Park is not a fortress anymore. So for that reason, Theo, I've gone different to you. I have gone Newcastle United 1, AFC Bournemouth 1. It's going to be a draw. It's got a draw written
It
all
has
over
got a draw, but I can imagine look who they've got on the bench, Dad. We discussed
Yeah.
it. Wissa could come off the bench and score. Walter Marder. If these players click into gear, which, by the way, it's a very winnable game.
But that was
Bournemouth
the case.
going for Europe spots,
Theo,
so I guess
but that was the case against Crystal Palace. That was the case against Sunderland, and they went out and lost.
Yeah. Okay, let's talk about the next game. What is it, Dad? Tell me.
And the next game is Tottenham Hotspur against Brighton and Hove Albion. It's 18th against 9th. It's the team with the worst form in the league, Tottenham, against the team with the best form. So let's start with Tottenham Hotspur, because there's so much banter talk recently.
When I introduced this video and I said everything is decided this week, a lot is decided in this game. We're going to see Roberto De Zerbi have his first managerial game at home against the team he used to manage and knows their team very well, how they play, their styles, their culture. This is the moment for them to bounce back. They went to Sunderland, they lost. It's the same old crap. Can Roberto De Zerbi bring something different to the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, or will he be playing Bolton next year in the Championship? Because obviously we're going up. So yeah, what do you think?
Well, all I do is I look at the stats, Theo.
Yeah.
1 point in 6 games. I look at the last 14 games in the Premier League, no win. No team has gone longer in the Premier League without a win than Tottenham Hotspur Football Club. And like I said, they're playing a Brighton team that's won 4 of the last 5. So on paper, you've got to look at this team and think they can win this.
Right now, this man has been getting all the limelight. Van Hecker and Wiefer, these two Dutchmen, have been holding down this tactic where they hold possession 65% of the game, and they run the show and they wait for their chance. And it hasn't happened overnight with Fabian Hutzler. And there was moments where Bloom, was thinking about, I don't know, the form's not great.
Yeah.
Then they clicked into gear. It was actually after beating Brentford, they clicked into gear. Since then, they've been one of the best performing teams in the Premier League. And if you look at the squad, you've got Danny Welbeck on his I know he's in his prime really, but he's on his last legs.
He's having his best season for
He's having
goals.
his best season.
Ever.
But this is a team that the way they're outperforming. They are out, but you look at the team, Hinshelwood has come into a sort of attacking mid-role. You've not even got Mitoma in your first 11. Kadioglu left back. He could play all around the back. Okay, obviously Minter's good. Diogo Gomez come through. Ayari has been... He was on the bench when they had players like Baleba and others.
I love the fact Pascal Gross, so he's been there, 6 or 7 years by now.
Now look where Baleba is. He's on the bench.
Yes.
Lewis Dunk is out, so that's obviously going to hurt Brighton because he's such an experienced man at the back, leadership.
And what's interesting, of course, Vifer got the 2 goals last week. I think it was against Burnley. Mitoma on the bench there. He's dropped off a bit.
Yeah, Diogo Gomez has been great, and they want to see him. I'm sure Bloom wants to see him, same as Hutzler. The tactic works under them. When they get their moment, who will score their chance? Probably Welbeck. You never know. It's a great squad. But let's talk about Tottenham, Dad. They've not been relegated. This would be the first relegation.
I can tell you, 1977. Because I started watching football in 1975 and Tottenham came down from the old First Division to the Second Division where Bolton are. And in the season 77 to 78, Bolton won that league.
Wow.
And we played Tottenham, unless my memory is bad. And
Wait, which division? First division or second?
We won the old Second Division.
Second Division.
It's
okay.
77 to 78. And that season, Tottenham, I think, probably got promoted as well.
And I bet you the Tottenham fans felt a better connection when they were going First and Second Division up and down than they do now, where they're 14 games consecutively without a win. And although they've not been down for so long, it might be a refreshing start. Okay, having said all that, I think De Zerbi can turn this around. I cannot see Tottenham going down. I think a few wins, they're back in the mixer. Absolutely no doubt. It's actually really interesting. We have a talking point where after winning the European Cup last year and the gaffer saying, wait for season 3.
Yeah.
I didn't know season 3 would be this good. I wish the documentary was this year. I wish the documentary was showing Tottenham in a relegation battle every week, anger, problems, this and that. That would be pure, wherever it was, Amazon Prime Video Sport or Disney Plus, wherever they would show it. This is a real talking point. Let's break down this team.
And the title of that would be Good Players Playing Badly. And that's what it comes down to, because I look at this squad there, and there is real talent in there.
Charlison, Solanke.
They're not playing like a team. They're not dangerous.
Conor Gallagher, Kolo Muani, Pedro, every player, Van der Ven. This is a Dutch centre-back battle off. Both of these guys, Netherlands for the World Cup. Look at that. Van der Ven and Van Hecker, them two lock in. Van Dijk's not got room. But look how good. I think on their, obviously Kulusevski's, Tottenham fans have been saying that, they're missing all these key players. Kudus,
they are.
Bendinker,
yes.
Bissouma, Maddison. They would all be straight in the team, wouldn't they?
Yes, they would.
Yeah.
And that is a fair point there.
Romero now as well. Vicario. Yeah, it's
Romero
tough.
just stops him getting sent off, doesn't it?
As you said, Dad, if we look at Brighton's last few games, they're controlling, they're dominant. Against this team, they could just wipe them out.
Yes.
They could, couldn't they? Is that what you're thinking?
I am thinking, Theo, football's all about waves. I've got a couple of cousins who support Brighton, and 2 or 3 months ago, they were nervous.
Yeah.
They were really nervous about Brighton dropping into the relegation zone. And it's gone in waves, Theo, because now, like I said, they are the best performing team over 5 or 6 games in the whole league. They're going to win this, surely.
Yeah, this same game last season was 4-1 to Brighton. And Brighton are now, they have something to play for, which is European race. They've got 5 wins in 6 league games. So people that predict Brighton to win.
Oh, no.
Fair enough.
No. This is a prank.
Not me.
This is a Jeremy Beadle moment.
I respect all the... I know the comments were going crazy right now. Leave me your thoughts in the comments below. I have gone with a 2-1 Tottenham win because at some point it will turn. And maybe not this week, but, I've been weird this year. I've gone for crazy scores. I've beaten you in the table.
Yeah.
And I'm going to continue to go against the grain, go against what people think. De Zerbi, he is the guy. He would have bollocked them after coming back from Stadium of Light. They would be working so hard from pure anger. And by the way, if this game's 1-1 late on, it's either going to Tottenham or to Brighton because it will not end 1-1. This game doesn't end a draw. It goes. They'll push men forward and either concede or score.
Yeah.
That's why I've gone with that.
Yeah.
So let's see what you've gone with.
It's interesting that you say this. Sometimes you get this thing, the new manager bounce, Theo. But my goodness, I look at the way Tottenham are playing, I look at the way Brighton are playing, and I wouldn't have done this 2 or 3 years ago. Brighton win this game. They're a better team playing better football. I get the De Zerbi thing. In fact, almost the best you could hope for Spurs is a draw. But you think that won't happen. Brighton win this 2-1.
Fair enough. That is the most likely score. And if you look at the way the teams are playing, it's fair enough, really, honestly. But yeah, this is a big one.
Oh my goodness. And the next game is Chelsea against Manchester United, 6th against 3rd. One of the 2 games of the weekend. And 2 teams there who lost last game week. In fact, Chelsea are getting into this habit of losing 3-0. They lost 3-0 up at the Hill Dickinson. They lost 3-0 at their own turf against Manchester City. They didn't just lose, they were outplayed, weren't they, Theo?
Chelsea somehow given the favourable chance of winning. If you look at their form, that's not very fair.
I mean, the bookies know what they're doing. When they do this, they know what they're doing. But I disagree with that one.
I disagree as well.
Because they are playing much better football recently. Chelsea's, it's very similar to Newcastle, Theo. It's very similar to Spurs. They've got a great squad. Really, really excellent players on that training pitch, in that ground. They're just not playing together. Lost 4 of the last 5 in the Premier League.
Not good at all.
It's unacceptable.
Let me know in the comments, because we are live right now, to people watching live, who you support, because I know many people watch our videos that support Chelsea and Manchester United. And I'm sure, especially you, they want to hear your thoughts, your experience. You know the Premier League well. They're both in difficult situations. I mean, United have had a very good turnaround, but they're still waiting on probably a permanent manager. Chelsea are in absolute turmoil. They can't even transfer players. They can't do anything. I would love to hear your thoughts.
I mean, the irony is they're still in 6th place there. But you look at what's happened over the last 5 weeks. If a couple of those defeats had been wins, they'd be in Champions League places.
Yeah.
It's like nobody wants the Champions League places. That's a good team, Theo. I mean, Cole Palmer is a game winner. This is one of the most exciting players in the league. Caicedo, a couple of mistakes in him recently, but you know, he is on his day, a very solid central midfielder. You get my point. Good players. Neto, I'm a big fan of Pedro Neto, always have been. And you've got some talent on the bench. Garnacho, he's not everyone's favourite, but he's lively when he comes on.
Guess who's finished his ban as well? I think the first thing I would do is probably take Andre Santos out and bring in Enzo Fernandez back in the team.
Yes.
Caicedo's still been great, but those two have a great connection. Look, I know he said he loves Madrid. I love Madrid. I'll say that on a video. You know, I'd love to go to Madrid. He didn't say, I'm going to Real Madrid, I'm leaving this club. I think they've overly reacted to this ban. Like, come on. Footballers want to go to places. Buenos Aires is a lot like Madrid. I've been to both places. The first thing I landed in Buenos Aires, I said to you, we could have just gotten on a 2-hour flight to Madrid. It looks the same.
I know what you mean.
Honestly, he said something, fair enough.
And what did he say? He talked about how much
it's like
he enjoyed
if
Madrid.
Traff did a live stream with me and said, oh, you know, I wish I got more game time. You know, I really like that Tottenham, you know. I think that's London is a great place to live.
And this gets into the realm of psychology, because this is a young man there, and this is another young man.
Yeah.
And some of these players, massive salary, massive ego, big flash cars, these guys have got to show, I'm above you in the pecking order.
True.
I'm the boss, and if you step out of line, even just that much, then I will put you in your place. So part of it is psychology, Theo.
Well, I still want to see Caicedo and Enzo back together, and I think Cole Palmer's had a pretty slow season. I hope that he steps it up for England.
By his very high standards,
yeah, absolutely. And João Pedro's been pretty decent. The defence is, I mean, Hato and Fofana. It changes every week, those centre-backs, and even the goalie. Garnacho is an interesting point, because he's now removed all his Chelsea stuff on his social media, and he's hinting, there's a few accounts that he's been liking, or you know, his family have, that links him back to Manchester United, missing the old days. Especially, they've got, Cunha is not really a winger, and Ahmad all on his own. Could that be a potential move back to Manchester United? What would you say about that, Dad?
I don't like it when that happens, Theo.
No?
Unless it's much later in a player's career. You shouldn't revisit old ground. It's like when you leave a job. Don't go back to that job.
Fair.
There's plenty of other jobs out. So if he's thinking of doing that, I'd talk him out of it. Manchester United, not a crisis. Yeah, they've got a decision about the manager. The ownership situation remains difficult, shall we say. But these players, I tell you what, they've been really good this season. Forget the Leeds game.
I really like how you look. You put the Leeds game aside and think about where they are in the table.
Look at the season and look, because that isn't the 3rd best squad in the league. No. I said that that's a mediocre squad. And look, this guy is evergreen. Bruno Fernandes is evergreen. Yeah, he's back in the squad after his red card.
That was a big loss for Leeds.
Yes,
he brings experience and leadership. That's why Tuchel has to play him for England this summer. It's not about, you look at a player, you laugh at him. It's not about that. People that really know football know what Maguire brings to this United team. It's not a surprise that Carrick does so well when Maguire's playing centre-back.
But there's one complaint I've got about Manchester United that goes back to this Monday, Theo.
Yeah, go on.
And stop whinging. Stop complaining. You lost to a very good Leeds team playing some very good football. And it became all about that red card, which was disputed, and you've given your opinion. I'll tell you what my opinion is, Theo.
Go on.
It was absolutely a red card all day long. I've played football for 50 years, Theo, and you know what I've never done in 50 years of playing football? At school, at college, Sunday league, I've never pulled someone's hair. And obviously what I've never done is pull someone's hair by accident. It just doesn't happen. Now, Lisandro Martinez, yes, it was a weak tug, but I'm sorry, You know the rules. Football is your job. You must know the rules. If you're a cricketer, you know the laws. If you're a footballer, you know the rules. For instance, if you, like yesterday at Real Madrid, a player was sent off for second yellow for wasting time. Those are the rules. You might not like them. You might whinge about them. But Lisandro Martinez, you were a stupid boy. You got a red card. You let your team down. You deserve it. Man United fans, Man United players, stop whinging. Play by the rules and give some respect to Leeds, who deserve to win that game.
And he's one of the more senior players in the team, so he's setting by example. What do all the young lads on the bench think when the centre back who's older in the team, who's been in World Cup finals and won it, does things like that on the pitch? It sets a bad example to United.
It's a bad example.
And that's a bigger problem at United right now.
And I think the point that we're making, it wasn't a massive tug like that. It was a gentle...
I did turn to you straight away when we were watching it live, and I said to you, Dad, that shouldn't be a red card. But
it should. By the rules, it should.
But the way you've described it is exactly why I think you're correct.
If I did this, it's a red card. I can't do that. And if I
just tugged one hair out.
I went over to you
dodgy
with the
hairline
cameras on, and I did that.
Live on stream.
It's dodgy anyway.
I don't think.
So that's my only complaint about Man United. Last 2 games, 2 red cards, couple of players.
Okay, you know what I think? Do you know what I think in this game, Dad? I think this has got a draw written all over it. I think Chelsea will be solid. United will bounce back. 1-1 draw. Look, we're talking more about the games from last week.
Yeah,
we're not even thinking about this game.
Yeah.
I'd be surprised if Rafinha is even fired after this. A lot of people saying that he is. I think they'll get away with a draw and he'll keep his job for a bit longer. Chelsea are looking at the bigger picture. They're looking like Real Madrid. They're looking at a new manager in the summer. They'll probably just let him run down his contract. I mean, financial fair play as well. If they just keep sacking managers, bringing them in during the same season, they're going to be getting points deducted.
Yeah.
No, seriously, they have no choice but to keep Rafinha.
Yes.
If you look at the numbers, only they know, but I'm telling you, they are very bad. And those squad that we just looked at, they're all staying.
Yeah.
They're not going anywhere. They have to become good.
I don't like the managerial merry-go-round. You know, in a business, a CEO, you hire them 3 years, 5 years, you give them time. So I don't like it when managers are sacked after weeks or months.
Yeah, it's not good.
But having said that, Rafinha maybe seems a little bit out of his depth at the moment. I look at Chelsea recently.
I didn't know that. I didn't know you did that.
That is a horrible picture. Horrible picture.
Look at the horrible scoreline.
No, Manchester United, forget the Leeds game, are playing better football than Chelsea. They will come to Stamford Bridge.
Yes, and I'm celebrating, Dad. Yes, because I've just beaten you in Prem predictions. Good. I've gone with the draw. You've gone with the United.
You've got the Spurs winning.
That's not happening.
You're bantering me today.
Yeah, I'm gonna mog you on points this week. People say Thogden mogs. I'm seeing the comments now. Thogden is mogging. No, he's not. I've just beaten him. United to win 2-1. You've lost your head. Clip me all you want. That's not happening. It's going to be a draw, and I'm going to win again. I'm celebrating early like Arsenal fans. Quadruple. What's the next game?
Oh, the next game is Aston Villa versus Sunderland, 4th against 10th. And this is 2 teams, Theo, with European ambitions. Aston Villa, of course, in the Champions League places. And because Chelsea don't seem to want it, well, they don't, do they? They're very comfortably there. Sunderland, what a season. What a great start to the season. Then they fell away. AFCON didn't help them. But look at this. 3 wins, Theo, out of the last 5 games. Suddenly, a win or 2, and they're in Europe, which is
nice couple green things there going on. Let's go through to the lineups because, yeah, I've got to respect Sunderland. They've not had many games. They've won the games they've needed to. Tyne-Wear derby.
Yes.
And they've not been easy as well.
Yeah.
You know, even at home to Tottenham, there was a lot of talk about De Zerbi getting something. They got the job done. 1-0 win, 3 points at home. They've done it again. And for Villa, they've been distracted a lot by Europe, but they're winning in Europe. They're actually playing tonight. When this video goes out, they are playing. I think it's a home game. They won 3-1 in Bologna. They're bringing it back to this. Okay, they'll probably... No, they won't rotate too much. They'll probably play a lot of seniors because they don't want a comeback of Bologna to go and actually upset them.
Yes.
They don't want that. I think Villa can win the Europa League. They're the strongest team in that. And especially now that Watkins is scoring a bit more in the European competition. So this is why Morgan Rogers is... Okay, no, they expect him to start. So Villa... These lads are getting more knackered. Sunderland arrested.
That is true. If Morgan Rogers start, did you see his miss against Aston Villa? Aston Villa against Nottingham Forest. They should have won that. They should have taken all 3 points. But overall, it's not a bad draw. And like I've said, 7 points ahead of Chelsea. So they're doing enough to get into the Champions League.
They'll make the Champions League if they win Europa League.
Yes, well, that's true, that. And does that give an extra place?
It does. So it drops down. So Europa League, Conference League, there's 1 more spot in the Premier League. It's crazy.
So for European positions, you have to be in the top 8 or 9.
Yeah.
6, 7, 8.
Yeah, no, it's more than 6, 7. But look, actually, Dad, you know, I've just had a thought. I've just looked at the Sunderland team. Okay, Xhaka's good. I've looked at the Villa team. They're playing back-to-back home games. That Villa team is going to beat that Sunderland team. Let's be honest.
You say that.
Look at that. Emi Martinez, benched.
Wow.
Mark Bizzo given the first team spot. I wonder what that is for. That's probably happened the last few weeks. I've not even noticed.
It seems like Brobby having a good season, Theo.
Couple of goals.
In the Premier League, Theo, they've got 10 points of the last 5 games.
Yeah.
Which means they've only lost 1 of the last 5. This could easily be like a 1-1 draw, surely.
It could be a 1-1 draw. I think Villa will mix a few players tonight against Bologna, go through, probably draw 1-1. They're going to win this game. And you'll see how many goals. I just think they're better. And Sunderland, they're good at home. They've had a few games where they've been good. I'm going 1. What? No, I'm not.
You just come on all.
My notes are different. I'm going to change it right now. This is not going to happen. I'm taking that 1. I'm putting it here. I'm sorry. I'm bringing in the 2. Villa are going to win this game. And to be honest, guys, I'm going to go 1 level further. I think Villa are going to get a convincing win. That is going to a 0 because, Sunderland, they've got their big lad up top. They might score, but I've given a lot of 2-1s today. I think Villa at home have a stronger team. Watkins is scoring again. He needs to do it in the Premier League. He's going to do it in this game. Villa 2, Sunderland 0.
And what you've done now, you've replicated the scores against West Ham and Lille.
So, that's the sort of level we're talking.
Yes,
that's
right.
Let's see what Thogden's
have gone slightly different. Okay. I agree with you. This could easily be a 1-1.
You could have gone. Do you want to change it?
No, I'm going to go with 1-0 to Villa, home advantage, despite how well Sunderland are playing. But if they're tired after the European week, could easily be a draw. That's 100%. All I'll say.
Let's talk about the next game because it's a big one.
Oh my goodness. The next game is Everton versus Liverpool, 8th against 5th. It is, of course, the Merseyside derby. And it's the first Merseyside derby to be played at the brilliant new Hill Dickinson Stadium Theatre.
Yes.
So where do we start with this?
Well, the last one at Goodison Park was scenes. It was, I was in Qatar watching it on telly on beIN Sport. And Tarkowski, when he scored that goal, I think everyone in football went mad. It doesn't matter who you support. I think Liverpool fans are probably thinking to themselves, you know what? It's their last memory in that stadium, fair play. You know, that was history, but it set the benchmark for, okay, we can actually win these Liverpool Merseyside derby games. We can now go ahead and do this. Now, there was patchy form at home for Everton, but the last few games have been great.
Yeah.
Last few home games, they've set the bar and they've got quality on the pitch. They've been holding out, even against Brentford, to hold them out in their own stadium. That's a good result. We can't underestimate that. Tarkowski, Branthwaite, they're building a great centre-back partnership. James Garner, second most interceptions in the league. Do you know that?
Wow, that is good. And also your mate, Kiernan Dewsbury Hall, got that last equaliser.
Garner.
And like you said,
Garner for England, Dad. Get him in.
Wow.
Get him in.
I wouldn't go that far. Everton have got 10 points in the last 5 games. So their form is much better than Liverpool. And anyone who knows anything about the city and about football knows how important this derby is for both the blue and the red sides of the city. Now, Liverpool, of course, dumped out of Europe against PSG, went out with a bit of a whimper, didn't they, Theo?
Yeah.
But they're still in Champions League positions. So should be enough, shouldn't they? It should get back in.
And look, Jordan Pickford, he'll need to lock in on this game because if he has a few mistakes, James Trafford's knocking for that England #1 spot. That's all I'm going to say for the summer. And then you've got, as I said, I've already complimented. No, I still love Pickford. That's all a joke. I still love Branthwaite. I still love Tarkowski. Them two are just, you said, Dad, that we should just make that our centre-back England partnership. Well, in fact, the whole three, the whole pyramid.
Do you know what, Theo? I have said that against the lesser teams, anytime we play a lesser team, and no offence to like a Slovakia or a Slovenia or one of those type of teams,
throw them all in.
Just play those two. Branthwaite and Tarkowski for England. They know each other. They know what they're doing. They're good footballers.
And how often is it when a goalkeeper that's a little less experienced, who doesn't know their centre-backs well, they make mistakes?
Yeah.
Those three know each other so well. And and Dyer's fit. McNeil's solid. Dewsbury Hall is excellent, especially when Grealish is in, but of course he's injured. That's a pretty good Everton team. I think they can win this game because Liverpool, low on confidence. But let's break it down. It would be great. It would be great. I don't know what sort of formation they're trying at the moment. I mean, Onslaugh's trying.
Theo, get this man in.
Get this man in.
Rio.
What was he? Did he play in the PSG game?
I didn't see. I don't think he started. Someone tell us in the
comments. Tell us now, because Rio has to start this derby. He's their only hope. He's on the thumbnail, guys. McAllister on the wing. You're having a laugh. Let's get him out of here. Go all out attack. Just enjoy it. Liverpool can really win this game if they just go and play without any pressure. All this talk and nonsense off the pitch. Just go out and enjoy it.
Fit again.
Isak back.
Is that right?
Huge.
Wow.
Rio, Isaac, Wirtz. Now we're talking.
But
Liverpool.
It's not huge straight away because he's not match fit. He might be fit.
We don't know, Dad. Even 75% Isaac, you play him and you pray.
Yes.
Because Everton, Beto, and the other strikers they have cannot, Thierry Barry, they can't compare to Isaac. Yeah. His Premier League record, we're forgetting about it. And if he's back, that's massive.
I've got a question for you, Theo. Am I the only person in the world who's sticking up for this guy?
Yeah.
Florian Wirtz.
I think you are.
Everyone else has given up on him.
I mean, there's a few Germans in the comments who really appreciate that you do that.
Yeah.
Because he's so good for Germany. And we've not seen it in the Premier League. But could it work with Isaac? Maybe that's the secret.
We know how good he is.
No, but what, Wirtz or Isaac?
Both of them.
I'm saying that Wirtz could get good with it next to him.
Yes, they could. But, it is a project for next season, isn't it? Because Liverpool now stay in the top 5, get back into the Champions League, get him fit again, and next season, these two can fire.
This is what they need to do. They need to get rid of Gakpo, bring McAllister there, put Isaac. That's a 4-3-3 that wins it. That wins at the new stadium. That 4-3-3, you have a bit of protection because you're kind of replicating what Everton do, but you have better players. This team, I know Arne Slot won't do it. And
where's Mo Salah? This is his
I'm sorry, but
his last Merseyside. No, he started.
He started after his goal?
Yeah, get him on.
So so we're taking out Wirtz then. We're putting Rio down here. We're putting Salah in.
Wirtz in for McAllister.
You want to go all out attack? Dad? I mean, against Everton, you might as well.
Yeah.
You got James Garner with all his interceptions. You need to go all out. So yeah, that is a team that there's so many problems for Everton there if it links well. But I've seen Wirtz play in Salah and Sob and those guys when it didn't work at City. That was their last big game and it went to absolute pieces. And in Europe, it didn't go well both times against PSG. So
shout out to Beto.
Yeah.
Beto is firing in the goals at the moment. Do you know something?
I've gone with my scoreline.
Wow. Sorry, I was speechless. I'm not usually speechless. You know that.
Everton going to win.
By 2 goals. I can see Everton nicking it 2-1, 1-0. Not by 2 goals. They don't beat Liverpool by 2 goals.
But they beat Chelsea 3-0 at home.
I'm happy to take the points.
They beat Chelsea 3-0 at home.
True, but Liverpool's not Chelsea.
I hear what you're saying. I like this prediction. And it's going to kill me to do this because I know I'm going to miss out on points.
I'll take the points.
I'm going to do this, guys.
Are you actually genuinely changing it?
Yeah, I'm genuinely changing it. Thogden, you convinced me.
Make sure you update your notes.
He's scared because, I've actually got 2 on my notes.
Really?
Because I changed it on the flight. But I still think Everton are going to win. Hop the toffees, as they say. And I think they're going to do it again because it's no longer a derby where one team is so far beyond. Yeah. And years of us growing up seeing Liverpool just win home and away, home and away, Mane there. And then the only time they got close when Lukaku was there. No, different story now. Everton are at home. I mean, the chance to win must be dead close. Am I crazy, Dad? What have you gone for?
You're not crazy, Theo, because that wouldn't be a surprise, and this won't be a surprise. I'm going to sit on the fence here. Can't wait to see this game. I love the Liverpool derby. I love the passion.
This hatred, it's not going to be a one.
It's not hatred. It's not hatred.
Yeah,
it's not. It's not hatred.
No, but sometimes you hate your little brother.
Newcastle,
and then you love him at the end of the day.
Newcastle and Sunderland is hatred.
Yeah.
That's not hatred.
Do you know what's hatred? Could be around next season. Name the game.
Millwall against everyone else.
West Ham, if they stay up.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Unless they switch. Or they play in the Championship, could be in the Premier League. That would be, that's not happened in a while. Probably a bit more hatred than this. That's for sure. Let's talk about the next game, Dad. What do you think about this one?
Oh, my goodness.
A lot on the line.
Yeah, the next game is Nottingham Forest against Burnley, 16th against 19th. It's another huge relegation tussle. Now, Nottingham Forest, very, very strong favourites here. Look at that, Theo. 5 games without defeat. You've got to back Forest here.
I think you do. The way Morgan Gibbs-White is playing right now, you need someone who's fit, creative, ready to go. They're at home. They should win. They've been unbeaten in, 6 games? 6 or 7.
Yeah.
They've got a 65% chance of winning. Everything is adding up for Forest. Burnley, let's be honest, they're down. It's kind of over.
Do you know the funny thing about recent Burnley games? I mean, they've got the same form as Spurs, which is not great. But if you look at the highlights, for instance, against the Brighton,
they're fighters.
Do you know? I think did they have 2 goals disallowed?
They did, yeah.
So on their day, they're not bad. They're not a terrible football team there.
They're playing for Scott Parker still. They've not given up. There's been seasons where Burnley have given up. This is not that year.
Yeah.
This is not that year. But I still think Forest are slightly better on paper. This is why. Look at the lineups. Just look at Forest team. I know they've got Europe. I know they're doing quite well in Europe as well. Actually, I think they could be playing Villa in the final or something, or in the semi. I haven't looked at the table, but This is why, Dad, we talk about Jesus,
Yes.
Brazilian quality, Morgan Gibbs-White's on form, Hudson-Odoi, Hutchinson. That's Chelsea or Arsenal, Chelsea. Elliot Anderson's in the England squad. Sangare's very solid defensively. Ola Aina, Chelsea. Neco Williams, Liverpool. This is quality.
Yeah.
Milenkovic is he's getting better again.
And it was Neco who got the goal, wasn't it, last week?
Good point.
And we were waiting for someone just to, to take a shot. But
And
overall,
then we look at Burnley, and it's a bit more, okay, Ward-Prowse, Fleming's on good form.
I like
Jayden Anthony's definitely staying in the Premier League.
Yeah, Ward-Prowse can deliver an assist.
Defensively, though, I don't know. Yeah, Dubravka had a few good saves when I last watched Burnley.
It's not, Burnley, not been a great season, but on their day, they're not bad. But I think you've just got to go straight to it.
It's a question of how many for Forest. And by the way, for the Premier League table, they need to win this game. It is important for them. They can't forget about it.
Yeah.
They won't stay up in the Premier League by winning Europa League. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah.
So Forest needs to keep an eye on it. And their form's good. I'm going 1-0. Could have gone 2, maybe a 2-1. We spoke about Burnley being quite attacking forward. I just think at Forest Stadium, they're just going to get the job done. It's going to be cagey because Forest know if they leak, Burnley can hit.
Well, the thing about Forest, the last 4 games unbeaten, but 3 of them in the league have been draws.
Yeah.
So what they've got to do is turn that draw into, they've got, another couple of wins and they are safe. My prediction, Theo, I'm going a little bit further than you. I think yours is a good prediction.
Oh, I like your score.
2-0 to Forest.
I like that because they'll push forward for a second and really try to make that game gone.
Yeah.
Let us know in the comments what you think. Are Forest surviving? And both of us giving Forest 3 points in that Premier League table makes it really difficult for West Ham. We're going to speak about West Ham, aren't we, Dad? Very soon. And maybe even now. No, we're not.
Oh, we are going to talk about Manchester City in second place against Arsenal in first place. It's the game of the weekend. In fact, no, I'm going to go one further. It's the game of the season.
Yep.
Because suddenly, look at those odds.
I'm
Manchester
enjoying this
City
screen.
are expected to win that. And if they do, the season is pretty much in their hands. It goes back into their hands, doesn't it?
The title of this live stream and video is the match that decides the Premier League. And because Arsenal lost to Bournemouth at home, because it was an early kickoff apparently, or the pitch was too dry, I forgot that reason. This match is now so important because if City win and then they win their game in hand, they are equal on points. And if they win by an amount more than 2, their goal difference is stronger. So now
it's better than that for Man City. If they win this game by a margin of 1, and if they win the game in hand 1-0, they go ahead.
Oh yeah,
they go ahead on goals scored.
So this game that really decides the Premier League.
If City win this and keep winning, they win the league.
Absolutely.
Well, it could come down to goals scored and blah blah blah.
And I think I know why they are winning, by the way. And we're going to get to that on the next slide, if you know what I mean. Arsenal. We spoke about fire in the press conferences. Arteta's been getting a bit heated. I want to see it on the pitch. I didn't see it against Sporting. I know I'm repeating what Thierry Henry said on TNT Sport, but it's so spot on. And they need someone like Thierry Henry to ask, what is this fire you're talking about? 0-0 against Sporting. I know you went through, but it wasn't convincing. Yeah. Now we're back in the Prem. We need results. That's what big Arsenal pundits are saying right now.
Oh.
They expect more, and this is the game. He said, go out and do it in Manchester. This decides everything. Look at the odds.
Yeah.
The odds have gone full on City. They think they're battering Cockneys again, as they always say. You know the song they always sing?
Yeah.
They think they're battering Cockneys again. We'll find out if it can. That is very low. That is very low.
Well, football is so much about momentum. You see, last week they battered Cockneys, Theo.
Yeah.
They are on for a treble. They won the League Cup. They fancy themselves to win the FA Cup. They can win the Premier League. They can do the treble. They've got the momentum. Whereas in Arsenal, okay, they're in the semi-final of the Champions League. Well done. I mean, genuinely well done. But people around here in North London, Arsenal fans are nervous.
They are nervous,
Tottenham fans are a step beyond that.
People were talking to me, they weren't even mentioning quadruples. They were mentioning they just wanted, let's have the FA Cup, let's have the Prem. And now the pitch is very different. Let's go through these lineups and have a little look. The problem is they've got to come away with at least a draw. And Doku is on the form of his life. He's doing more take-ons than anyone else in the Premier League. Haaland's scoring again, as we saw a hat-trick against Liverpool. Semenyo's incredible at football. And Ryan Cherky's like an Adel Taarabt, but a better version. He's just like...
Yeah.
He's so good at making things from nothing and finding the lines where there's nothing on. He's kind of like a De Bruyne, but like an Algerian-style De Bruyne.
And what we're seeing here, Theo, I've just realised that Manchester City have regenerated. You see, Liverpool haven't yet.
Exactly.
Manchester City have regenerated because they've lost Kevin De Bruyne. But you know what? They've found other players. They've paid money. Last week, the goals came from here. O'Reilly, Doku and Guehi there.
But differently, Dad, they spent money, but the players are worth it and they're performing.
Yes.
Look at Newcastle, how they splash. Look at even some questions over Liverpool. They splash. Recently, they've bought a few players that haven't performed. They know what they're doing. Guehi's come in, and him and Kuzanov have been the best centre-back during the league, on par with Everton. You know, I love that English pairing. Nick O'Reilly, how many goals does this guy get?
Oh, my goodness.
He's meant to be a defender, but this proves that this formation doesn't make any sense because he's taking more shots per game than Cherky.
By the way, look at the strength of the bench. Bernardo Silva is still delivering. Rodri is Rodri. Phil Foden, my other son.
No, that's not the bench. We've not filled them out. We've had a shocker here.
1, 2, 3.
There's not enough players.
Let's get some proper
Let's get some Bernardo Silva.
Yes.
Bernardo Silva in. Let's get James Trafford in for Donnarumma.
Oh,
yeah, I went there.
He's done it again.
Let's get Rodri in there with Bernardo Silva. And then all of a sudden, you have 11 players. Sorry, we just realised.
Were you playing around with this earlier?
9 men City probably could still beat Arsenal now.
And
it's like KSI in that Akin
1,
Fenwa.
2, 3, 4, 5,
1-man
6, 7,
team!
There, you've got 10 Arsenal players.
What?
10 Arsenal players.
We have to fill them in. This is a question.
Mendy, 4. Okay, who do you want to bring in?
Because this is the problem. Look, we could bring in Havertz behind Gyökeres. We could bring in Eze. Eze's been talking a lot about this. He's saying he's been talking more off the pitch than actual game time, by the way. So who do you want in that attacking mid spot, Dad? We have to fill it in.
And is Saka...
Dalman?
Ooh.
You never know with Dalman.
No, not against Man City.
No, it's too big. Saka has to come in.
Saka.
Do you know what I do, Dad?
Go on.
I don't know. Madueke has to go as well. I don't trust in him. I'm going to play Kai Havertz because he's won Premier Leagues and Champions Leagues and he's seen and done it before.
Saka.
I take out Madueke. I bring in Saka. I don't care. Even if it's 80% Saka over 100% Madueke.
Yeah.
Madueke, I mean, come on. Bukayo Saka's going to play every minute of the World Cup, no matter what. He's that guy. So
Trossard or Martinelli?
Trossard or Martinelli? I play Martinelli. A bit more pace.
Okay.
I think Man City will be a bit more dominant, and they need pace on the wing. Trossard's older, less quick. He's more. Martinelli's direct. If he clicks into gear, it could be really important for them. Gyökeres needs to be taking his moments. I mean, the team. I just look at the Arsenal team, and I think I'm just a bit worried because City just looks so complete right now.
Yeah, they do.
What do you think? What do we do with this?
Well, I mean, also you've got to look at Manchester City's incredible home record. You've got the home advantage here, Theo, and you've got the momentum advantage. I mean, most people will be looking at this and saying City win.
I'm also gonna say this is the dream 11 for me, but James Trafford is probably gonna be not because Donnarumma plays the Premier League games, and actually in a game like this, you need experience. They signed him for that sort of reason. So despite my bro Traff, I want to see him play every single week, but it's just how it goes sometimes, and you've got to respect that Donnarumma is still probably the best in the game and deserves to play. They signed him for a lot of money. How much do they pay him every week? He's got to play in this game. And I do think that 11, right now, it wipes this team out. It's not even going to be close. It might be a 2-goal difference plus.
Well, what we saw last week with Manchester City, Theo, at Stamford Bridge, 0-0 at half-time.
Yeah.
Now, I'm thinking that Pep gave them an absolute rollicking because Man City in that second half were astonishing.
Do you know what I'd do, Dad?
Brilliant.
I'd stick Arteta back in the team. I'd play in midfield. Like the Everton Arsenal days. That's a better lineup. You know what I'd do, Dad? I reckon City could still win.
It's not the Sidemen charity match.
I'd stick Pep up top. Score some headers next to Haaland. And they'd still win this game. Dad, I tell you, City are going to win this. They're going to beat the Cockneys. And it's going to be a Premier League deciding fixture. This is the moment. And I think I just look at it's too strong. Cherky, Haaland, Doku, so many. They're too in form. This is going to, I'm sorry, Arsenal fans. Look at my prediction. It's going to really hurt some people, this. 2-0. Arsenal are going to come away goalless.
Wow.
They're going to be on that coach back to London thinking,
we
just got outplayed. And actually, the team that just outplayed us was so good, they deserve the Prem.
So what you're saying is that happens again.
Oh, I didn't even notice that. It will happen again.
Yeah.
And maybe in the same sort of way. Nick O'Reilly, second half. There'll be a surprise. It could be Doku. It could be someone who has a bit more space and time because they're focused on the Haalands, the Cherkys, or the big lad. There's someone who's going to... I don't know who will be the guy. Maybe it comes off the bench. But City are going to win this game. I think 2-0. They're going to be so dominant. It's the worst possible time for Arsenal to play them. And I do think City will... I mean, I predicted it at the start of the year. City are going to win the Prem.
Wow. You know what? I'm going to agree and disagree, Theo.
Okay.
So if you get to my score on the next sheet, I'm going to agree that Manchester City win this game. I'm going to go narrower 2-1. How I'm going to disagree, Theo, is there are twists and there are turns to come in the Premier League. This is game week, 33. Weird things will happen. Surprise things will happen over the next 5 or 6 weeks.
So you're going for a City win. Does that mean City are going to win the Premier League in your books now?
No.
Wow.
By mathematical, scientific data, no, of course they don't. They'll be 3 points behind Arsenal.
But Dad, in January, buying Guehi, buying Semenyo, you don't think that made them win the Premier League? Because that was
no,
they
I'm
won
not
this.
saying that.
I personally think they won it.
You've not asked me who do you think will win the Premier League. You've asked me, is this it? And I'm saying, no, it's not. I'm saying there are twists and there are turns.
There's a lot more to come.
A lot more to come.
Even on this video, because West Ham are in a relegation battle, and that is the MNF. That means Monday Night Football. Should we get to it, Dad?
Let's do that.
We both predicted City to win. Let us know in the comments. We're going to shout out people who get it correct. So comment that right now. Smash the like on this stream. And let me know who you think's going to win. Because if Arsenal draw or win, it's back in their favour. If City get a victory, it's in their favour. All up for grabs. Etihad's going to be rocking. And the final game is Crystal Palace against West Ham United. Now,
excuse me.
Oh yeah, sorry.
I can't believe, honestly,
I'm excited.
You've seen
for
my
this
contract, haven't you?
Good point.
And the final game is, Theo, Crystal Palace against West Ham United, 13th against 17th. It's another tasty London derby. Two teams who won last weekend. Now, Crystal Palace, Mateta, boom. He's doing it again. He scored a brace, didn't he, Theo, against Newcastle. West Ham, of course, smashed Wolverhampton Wanderers. Let's look at the teams because, wow.
Look at that form. Incredible.
This is it. And this might sound a little bit silly. Crystal Palace, I've got a game in hand. Now, I know it's against Man City, but they can still look towards Europe. 2 or 3 good results, they can look towards the lower European places. Whereas West Ham, it's all about staying ahead of Tottenham Hotspur and avoiding relegation.
That green, I mean, this is a bit unfair on West Ham because their form, that green was a 4-0 win.
Yeah, I know.
And it was like a Bowen hat-trick of assists. Mavropanos, you said, would stand out. He went and scored 2 headers.
Yes.
That green is like
yeah.
a table-changing moment for West Ham.
Wow, yeah.
Because Tottenham lost and West Ham won. And now it's actually favouring West Ham. This is why I love this final game, because Crystal Palace have got European distraction. West Ham don't have to travel far, and they are on fire. Castellanos scored 2 goals last week. Let's see if he's predicted in these lineups. Have a look at this, guys. I think he will be, but let's have a look.
Well, the thing is...
He is.
Yes,
he's in the
he
team.
is.
Pablo, him, Bowen, Adama Traore brings pace. That team, corner, they scored 2 corners. I'd be worried if I was a Palace fan. I know they can go on a little Conference League run, but to see who it matters to more in the Premier League right now, look at the table again and again and again. I know I said it a lot, but I've predicted Tottenham to win. I've predicted Forest to win. This is going to be the last game. They're going to see the results by this game being happening. I think West Ham have to win this match. Comment down below your score.
Yes, and it almost becomes a must-win game because, like you said, you've said that Spurs win. And if I was West Ham, I would be saying to them, it's in your hands. Don't look at Tottenham. Just go out and win this game. This is a very winnable game. And that's no disrespect to Crystal Palace. But although I've said they can make Europe, realistically, they're going to be 10th, 11th, 12th. So for West Ham...
The question is whether Glasner will be there next season. Because, now Areola's had enough.
Yes.
Glasner's, he's done a lot for Palace. And I know at times he wasn't backed as much as he wanted. He's kept Mateta. And you know what? A week ago, it was the call of the season from me. I talked about this player, didn't I? I'm sure he was watching that, and he went out and scored 2. You actually reckon he might have seen...
Well, no, but probably not. But
if he saw it...
Mavropanos, did you see what I said?
Comment down below. Maybe someone Greek sent it to him. Like, they think you're going to stand out.
Yeah.
You never know. Greek community,
Absolutely.
Everyone's an Olympiacos fan, right? Anyway.
But I look at these two teams, and all I can think, Theo, I'm going to go straight to it, is draw.
Oh.
It's almost unpredictable. Now, I know it's at Crystal Palace.
I don't think so.
You think one of these teams are going to win?
One of these teams is going to win.
Are you confident about that?
I am, and I've explained myself a little bit already. One team will want it more.
You're going to go West Ham, aren't you?
I'm going to go West Ham because they've got one eye on Conference League, and I really think they can win it. And I know they did really well to beat Newcastle 2-1, so they had back-to-back home games. They've got another home game here. They're the favourite, if you look at the chances to win.
Excuse me, Mateta on the bench?
Because he's playing in Europe. And they play Strand last in the league. That's what they do.
Okay.
But if you want to switch him in, you can. But they're trying to balance. They're thinking about next season because Mateta...
Fair enough.
As soon as the summer starts, he's off, isn't he? And who they left with? They spent a lot of money on him. They did. They've got to make it work. Over 35 million. Strand Larsen has to work. Jeremy Pino, as well.
And is that the
These
logic
are sort of
with
players-
Ismaila and Kamada? Same sort of logic.
The thing is, they are more focused on Conference League now.
Yeah.
That is a more second-strand team, which they're likely to play. And West Ham will go all out. Bowen, Castellanos. You don't want to play these guys right now.
No.
They are thinking about scoring. They are dreaming of scoring. And that's why, ladies and gentlemen, I have gone with this.
Wow.
West Ham to win again. Big call, against the odds. I've gone for it. Ballsy. I think you won't do it.
I mean, it's very low scoring. If you look at West Ham games recently, 4 goals, 2-2, 4. Normally there's more goals. So as a betting man...
Dad, if they're going to win away, they're not going to win 4-0.
2-1?
Could have been. Do you know what? You're right. No, I listen to you, Dad. I respect my father. I respect my father.
He doesn't though, does he?
What? No, he's joking.
I'm just talking to the...
You're actually right. You've got me thinking. There's a lot of goals. And, well, that's not... Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a lot of goals in this game. And West Ham did score 4 last week. And they were outstanding. You're right. They're gonna win. I stand by it, by 1 goal difference. But yeah, I'll go for 3 goals instead of 1. I like your thinking, Dad.
And I've kind of given away what I'm thinking. I'm just going to sit on the fence like I did with Everton, Liverpool. Crystal Palace 1, West Ham 1. And I think West Ham would take that.
Yeah, they would take that. It's another point in a road for safety. But is it enough if Forest and Tottenham win? You've gone for a Tottenham loss. So maybe just enough. Stay tuned. The relegation battle is sublime this year. So I think that's it. I think we've got to the end.
Yeah.
That's it. That's our final prediction. Guys, remember, City, Arsenal. Think about it. Talk about it. Get your predictions in the comments. It's been an honour to bring you Game Week 33 predictions. Thank you for watching. That's all from us. And we'll see you for the next Champions League or Premier League predictions on this channel. Subscribe. See you